everyone, it's Jeremy Vorse, your youth pastor again, with another devotional thought for you guys as we go through the Gospel Project. And so normally we do this kind of lesson during December because today we're talking about Jesus's birth. And so it's a story we've heard 1,001 times. Every single Christmas we go through the nativity story and all this. But what I want you to do is just stop and forget about everything for a moment. Really forget about everything we really know about the Christmas story and reread it as if you were reading it for the first time. And have this mindset as you're reading this account of God is doing something big, that God was sending himself down to this world to help bridge the connection between man and God. And that God was coming to set people free, to really take off the bondages of sin and slavery and make people free. And then this is how he does it. So hit pause, read in Luke chapter 1, in chapter 2. It shouldn't take you too long, but just read those chapters as a family or by yourself, and then hit play again. So see you in a few minutes, but hit pause now. So again, we've heard this story so many times. We know that Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph. They were a low-income family. Joseph was a carpenter. Mary at this time was probably only like 13, 14 years old. They have to go from their hometown all the way down to Bethlehem and travel all this way. There's no rooms for them in the inn, so they end up being in this barn, essentially, which wasn't even a barn at that time. It was more of like a cave or a few pieces of wood kind of put together to keep the animals out of the weather. This is where Jesus is born. Again, remember that what God was doing was he was sending himself as Jesus to bridge this. He could have come as this warrior king. He could have come and overthrown the Roman Empire. He could have come and been glorified on high, and he chooses to come as a little baby in a poor family, in unlivable conditions. Guys, when he was first born, they put him in a feeding trough, a manger. It had hay sticking out of it that the animals are probably eating out of. That's where God chose to enter the scene. See, knowing what we know that that was God humbling himself so that he could say that he understood what we go through, that he understands what it means to be rejected. He knows what it means to be looked down upon, to be part of the lower class, to know what it means to have to really survive each day. But in this moment, you're kind of like, God, why'd you choose this? Why? You could have done anything in the world, but you chose this. Well, as we read in Philippians 2, that it was Christ humbling himself. That he humbled himself and he came down as human. And even this idea of God coming down as human is something that's so hard for us to understand, that the God of the universe, the God who created all things, came as a creation, humbling himself, taking on the very nature of man, living for 33 years, knowing what it was like to be made fun of, knowing what it was like to skin his knee, knowing what it was like to be hungry, to be thirsty, to feel. God went through all that so that he could understand you better, so that he could understand me better. Not that he had to, that he knew exactly, because he created us, but he wanted us to know he knew. So what in your life are you looking at God of, kind of like, God, why are you choosing? God, you could use any means necessary. You could do all this miraculous stuff. Why are you choosing this? Because sometimes we get kind of the tunnel vision. We get so focused in on the here and now that we're losing sight of what God's actually doing in and around us. So this week I want you to take a moment, take a step back. Say, God, what are you doing around me? Why are you using the things that you're using for the way that you're using it? And how can I be a part of it? Guys, we're so excited that you stay plugged in, watching these videos week after week as we go through the Gospel Project. As we continue, we'll be learning more about the life and ministry of Jesus and what he did here on this earth, especially those later 3 years of his life. And it's got to get really exciting, guys. So stay connected, stay tuned with these videos, and we hope to see you guys all soon. Take care.